Hey guys, welcome to DrawKings. I'm Pat.
And I'm Evan.
And today's episode is Serial Killers.
We're going to be drawing murderous serial characters.
Yeah, episode 10, by the way, guys.
I know, big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I know we say, like, everything's a big deal, but this is episode 10. I mean, it's a nice, even number.
It's a beautiful number. 10 is a beautiful number, guys.
I happen to agree with that. I mean, it's not sexual for me in 10. I'm
on the fence there.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally, like, I'll find myself staring at 10 in a sensual yet exploratory manner.
A longing way.
Yeah.
A longing gaze.
So I've chosen the Trix Rabbit because I think that if anyone's going to be a murderous character, it's probably going to be the guy that isn't allowed to have the cereal that he is the mascot of.
That's kind of sick, actually.
I mean,
it's like serial characters are almost like slavery. It's like they have to. I don't know if they make the cereal in their narrative, but like they're basically like, you know, being the mascot for the cereal. They're being the figurehead for that product.
Yeah,
and the kids are always taking it from them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's in every single situation. I mean, like Tony the Tiger, he obviously gets a shit ton of his
he gets invited into the home.
Yeah, he's already there. And he's a tiger. I mean, it's not like a bunny's gonna. Well, obviously, a bunny now will kill your family, but it's not like bunnies are known for killing people's families.
They're not.
Whereas tigers, they are known for killing families, and yet you let Tony the Tiger in your house because you know he's lovable and he says great.
He also has that red handkerchief, that little scarf on him, that shows that he's a good tiger.
And sorry, so you think that the red handkerchief is some sort of display of civility?
Absolutely.
So you see a tiger with a red handkerchief, you are going...
Well, I know he's a gang member, for one, which means he knows how to organize a group of people together.
So your opinion is that families look at tigers with freaking bandanas, and they're like, oh, he's a gang member, let's invite him in.
Well, no, they don't say gang member. They're like, oh, look how cute that tiger with the scarf is. But
like...
really, it shows that he has, like, you know, he knows how to get people together. He knows how to get a community together. Organize a gang.
Just because you're a gang member doesn't mean you organize that gang. And by the way, it's not that difficult to convince a bunch of fucking youths in the city to come together and, you know, band together and fight each other's enemies.
There's no fighting here, okay? A gang can be completely non-violent.
That's not true.
Yes, it could.
The whole
a gang, it does not have to be violent.
I'm sorry, what gangs have you ever been in, sir?
I've never been in any gangs.
So you're just talking shit about tigers and bandanas.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to lighten the subject of gangs, Pat. I'm trying to shine a new light.
You brought up the subject of gangs.
I know. I just want to shed a nice tear on this subject, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Put a ray of sunshine on it.
So your objective here is to give gangs a new voice in America. That is,
absolutely. Evan for gangs.
Evan for gangs. Guys, you should vote for this guy. He's really on the right track here.
I think I am. And so are you. You're drawing the big dumpy feet of Trix Rabbit.
Yeah, I think I'm overdoing it a little bit on the feet, but
I kind of like it. It makes him grounded.
In the end, I think it'll look pretty good. But yeah, so you know, this little rabbit, he's told he's silly all the time, and you know we all hear that you silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. And it's like no matter what, I don't know why he can't just go to a store and fucking buy tricks. I mean,
what he does.
But it seems like every single time he's getting tricks, it's because he's like trying to steal it for some kids or something.
Well, all right, here. Let's like hypothesize what he's actually doing. When the Trix Rabbit is in the woods and he has the box of tricks, he obviously got it from a store.
You think?
Yeah, well, because like even though he's a magical talking bunny, he kind of like can't box things in the woods and print them in the manufacturing.
So you're saying that he went and he got them. So
maybe he got them legitimately though.
This horde of kids is
they're a gang.
Yeah, they are a gang.
They're a gang.
They are a fucking gang. This gang of hooligan children is just like following this poor rabbit, who, by the way, is the only reason. I mean, he's not the reason Trix are around, but he's the mascot.
Exactly. Trix wouldn't be nearly as popular without him.
Absolutely. And maybe you're speaking to something there. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be popular if the rabbit got the tricks. I mean, because you keep the tricks away from the rabbit, all these little kiddies are going to be like, oh, I want tricks. The rabbit doesn't get them. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, but you're onto something too, because it's like, people always want to see people not getting what they want.
Yeah, totally. And if you can have something that someone else can't have, namely a wonderful little bunny rabbit, then you're going to want it that much more.
Exactly.
You know,
the grass is always greener.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? I think that these kids had it coming. So this little Trix Rabbit finally fucking snapped.
He snapped.
Yeah, he's like OJ. He was like, he didn't need to wear any gloves for this one, but
because he knew he was going to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty obvious, like, who killed those kids that are always picking on the Trix Rabbit? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Maybe it was the Trix Rabbit.
Let's look to the Timberwolves. They probably ate them.
Yeah, those Timberwolves, they're always eating people.
Yeah, dude. Timberwolves are a serious problem in suburbia.
Are they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever seen a Timberwolf?
No, because they're so good at what they do.
You just love talking shit about stuff you have no idea
Dude,
about.
Timberwolves, I know a lot about, okay? I read about them all the time.
Tell me about these Timberwolves.
And they're not in suburbia, but I want them to be in suburbia. Because I think that Timberwolves in suburbia brings a whole new element, a new dynamic to, living kind of in the cultural wasteland that is the suburban environment.
You know what? I couldn't agree more about this topic.
It's an edge. They represent something. All right, do you see kids playing outside anymore? No, right?
And you think it's the Timberwolf?
I think that if there was a reason, like Timberwolves, then we would feel better about kids not playing outside. Like, oh yeah, because they don't want to be eaten by Timberwolves.
Well, maybe it's all those like child molesters and fucking.
So the Timberwolves and the child molesters are in cahoots. Yeah. I think the Timberwolves would eat them too.
I don't think they have.
It'll keep them off the streets too.
That's true. I mean, I think if we just stop fucking with the Timberwolf population, we'd have much less child molesters.
Yeah, I'm not talking about gray wolves. I'm talking about big fucking Canadian Timberwolves.
I just think like
the F-bomb on that one.
I think the equation is pretty sound. More Timberwolves, less child molesters.
I think it's a direct correlation.
I think that's. I mean, you don't even need to like go into it really. You call a board meeting, whatever board you wish.
I declare there's Timberwolves in this neighborhood, and that's final.
Yeah, and they'd buy it. I mean, because nobody likes a child molester, and even if you can't prove that Timberwolves contribute to the downfall of child molesters, it's
it's a pretty good equation. I mean, you can argue it,
and it's not like people are so against Timberwolves they're going to be like, I don't think the trade-off's appropriate here. It's
they kind of are a little crazy about Timberwolves because, like, where I work, there was like a bear that got released in town. Like a bear like came down from the mountains or something, and I was chasing it on foot. Actually, this is actually a true story.
Are you?
I'm not being like no. The bear was like in the area, and I was trying to find it while everyone was trying.
So this is one of our like real turkey stories.
This is a real story. Yeah,
all of our turkey stories are real.
Yeah, all of our turkey stories are real. So, but one bear, and I know that a bear is a pretty big deal. But, like, it was a juvenile bear. It was, like, a couple 100 pounds.
It was a little bear cub.
No, it wasn't a bear cub. It was, like, a 6-foot tall, 7-foot tall bear. But it wasn't, like, a full-grown 9-foot, gigantic monster. Okay. The thing was trying to get away from us. It wasn't really trying to attack us.
So you were following it.
Well, I'm being a dumbass because I wanted to see it up close, so I followed it, and I got very close.
Yeah, that is pretty stupid.
Yeah, but, life's full of risks.
You never corner a bear.
I didn't say I cornered it.
Well, I mean, eventually...
Following it doesn't mean corner it. I'm not that stupid.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, well, what happened was everyone gathered around a tree while it was in the neighborhood, and, it was probably about, like, 80 feet up in the tree. Really tall tree.
It climbed
and then it came down, and I was probably about, I don't know, like 1,000 feet. I was pretty far. It
climbed down or it fell?
It kind of, like, dropped. It was trying to get away. They were spraying it with a fire hose.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like one of those trank situations. Have you seen that... The trampoline,
they were trying to do that.
The trampoline bear situation where there's a bear up in a tree and they take a tranquilizer gun and they shoot it. The bear falls out of the tree, launches off the trampoline, and it like does this flip and lands on the ground. Dude, it's just like
that kind of sounds pretty fun. Like imagine being up in a tree and like, all right, guys, I'm getting scared of heights right now. Can you trank me so I can fall down on the trampoline?
But it calls to question the sanity of putting a trampoline underneath someone that's going to jump, because you see that shit all the time, like burning buildings, trampoline on the ground, and it's like
it's gonna launch you.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking launch you. It's like I would never
break your legs.
Right, exactly. It's like if I jump right now, I
want to land in a foam pit.
Like I'm not landing on concrete, but I will eventually land on concrete, because it's not like I'm gonna bounce off this trampoline and then just continue to reduce my speed on the trampoline.
Also, if the shocks are strong enough, they're going to bust your legs when you land on it. Like, you should be falling on your butt, because if you don't fall on anything else, you have broken it. Now, I realize that's better than losing your life, but...
You need to spread out your surface area.
You need to spread out your surface area, absolutely.
Land
on your face. That's the best way to do it. Land on your face.
Oh, chia.
Big face. Oh, yeah. Big face, big land.
Big face, big... Big face, big land. That's a common expression.
Yeah, exactly. It's like big back, big bench, Big face, big land.
Yeah, my mom always used to tell me big face, big land. Because when I was really young, I was really upset about how big my face is.
Pat, I didn't want to ever say that, but your face is enormous.
But listen, it's not that enormous, okay? And honestly...
It's the size of my torso.
Yeah, well, guess what? big face, big land. So
you're right, dude. You're right.
You don't big land.
No, I don't. You know what?
I
break when I fall.
Yeah.
I break. I'm like, ow, I broke, and you're like, no.
So yeah,
big face, big land.
I got to go through life with the haunting recollection of millions of little children saying, "You big faced poop."
Yeah. It's like, look, guys, just because my face is the size of a sled doesn't mean you can't ride it down the hill.
Yeah, but then I burned down the high school, and we all have to jump out of a window. And now who's laughing? Oh, it's the big face, big land guy, and you guys are all dying.
This is like evolving sort of into the Trix Rabbit.
Yeah,
he's this tormented character that just finally had enough. So
and he finally got his tricks. I didn't get a chance to really look up what the kids who were constantly harassing him look like, but I thought, it's just some sort of cartoony kitty thing. So yeah, I got these Bastatsuchis.
Well, I see that he had a messy job there. He didn't even cut the head off cleanly,
and he loves this. He's like he's having the time of his life. He's not even... See, he's waited so long for these tricks, but he's not even eating it. He's savoring this decapitated little child.
Well, he's going to hold it while he eats the tricks.
Oh, yeah. He's going to look in his eyes, and he's going to you want an airplane? He's going to play plane with the decapitated head.
So do you think that they pushed him to this, or do you feel like he had this in him the whole time, and then the fact that they did... he finally was fed up with it. He was like, this is enough. So I guess it means that he was pushed to it either way.
So so this kid, right? He is one of the kids that were, harassing him, but he also happens to be the corporate son of the owner of Trix.
Oh.
So the owner of Trix, he's the one that's hiring the writers that are writing these scripts that are making this Trix Rabbit just horrified. And so
driving him up the wall, man.
Yeah, and so this guy was like, you know what? This motherfucker, he's preventing me from having tricks. I'm gonna kill his little boy.
Wow, that's dark.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, the guy was following him in the woods. He could have had as much tricks as he wanted. His dad worked for the goddamn company.
Yeah, that's true.
He could have just gotten the tricks that way.
Yeah,
meanwhile, he goes out of his way to torment this rabbit who just wants to take some of his cut.
I think he deserves.
What is Rabbit going to do with money? They don't pay him money. Even if they did, what is he going to do with money?
Fucking Rabbit can't walk into some store and be like
buying crap.
Yeah, they'd be like,
get out of my store, Rabbit. Stop buying crap.
I mean, I am significantly impressed that there is a talking rabbit in my presence.
Yeah,
but we do not serve talking rabbits in the store. At least not that I know of. There's no written law because you're the first rabbit I've seen.
Yeah, well, the first thing I'd do if I talked to the anthropomorphic rabbit, I would be afraid, and then also I'd get my blood tested for my blood alcohol level just to make sure that I was right.
Has alcohol really ever made you hallucinate?
No, not hallucinate, but come with cool stories.
Have you ever hallucinated?
Yeah, but not from alcohol, from fevers, man.
You've hallucinated from fevers, not an intentional hallucination.
No, never intentional. No.
I've had intentional hallucinations.
It's pretty incredible.
No, actually, no unintentional hallucinations. So I haven't had fever visions.
Yeah, I mean, I was on a bunch of meds when I was a kid, so I don't even know how much of it could have been that.
You were sick a lot?
Sometimes, yeah.
No, I very rarely got sick when I was young.
That's good. That's good. I really get sick now, except for me having the flu 2 weeks ago. That was lame. Yeah. All right, so wow, this is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty morbid.
It's graphic, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when guys, Evan came up with this prompt. By the way, I would like to round of applause.
Thank you
to Evan. He came up with this prompt. As some of you may have heard, I was just employed by College Humor to do some illustrations for him, and I've got a pretty crazy deadline, so it's had an effect on DrawKings and what we do with Pat and Evan and all that. So,
but it's cool, guys. We'll be back. We're here right now, actually. So
yeah,
we're already back.
We're doing this bad boy right now. But yeah, so I called up Evan and I was like, "Hey, dude, can you think of a prompt for tonight?" Because I was working on the sketches, and he immediately responded with serial killers, and I thought that was a great idea.
He just popped up in my head the moment he sent me the text.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. It's a nice prompt. I dig it. So. Another round of applause for Evan.
Thank you, sir.
And yeah, for real.
So some neck blood's dripping all over his jeans.
Yeah, so I included 2 blood pools.
Yeah, I like it. Well, one's from the head and both from the head, but one's from the decapitated part, and then the one's from the actual body.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And
you added the tricks in there too. I like that.
Oh, you didn't see the?
I didn't even see the dots of the tricks being put in there.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
I added the little tricks dots. So that that he's eating cereal right now.
Yeah, he also has even though that is kind of his face normally, It kind of has like a lunatic's glow to it.
Oh yeah, I tried to add a little loony to it, and his face is normally just like sort of a wide. And by the way, he is. If you look at pictures of this dude, he is always smiling, and I don't really understand that. I found a really good picture of him having finally gotten his tricks, which I suppose I can. Should I show them?
Yeah, sure, dude.
So the rabbit finally got his tricks, and it's like it's like a drug addict kind of picture. It's really cool. Actually.
That's great.
Yeah, obviously I couldn't just take this picture and do it, but I liked their
interpretation of
where they
went
went with it. So let me find this best.
Oh, it's right there. It's like a Gollum picture.
There you go.
it's like Gollum sort of.
Yeah, so he's finally gotten his.
But he's kind of sad that the chase is up.
I mean, he's crying with
joy.
Joy, yeah.
But that's after this happens. That's definitely after this happens because he's eating the tricks. So right now he just finished ripping the kid's head off. I mean,
right.
There's no weapon in his hand, so I'm imagining that he actually just ripped his head off.
So do you think he? I think he'll probably get off on insanity. I mean, if any
well, you
jury,
can't try a rabbit.
Well, unless you have a jury of rabbits, but
yeah, a jury of his peers.
But a jury of rabbits would totally let this dude off. It's not like.
Well, a jury, I don't know. Like a jury of woodland rabbits that don't talk would probably just not care. But a jury of anthropomorphic rabbits, that's a whole other
Well, you can't have a jury if they can't talk.
Not necessarily.
Well, we
don't know if rabbits can, communicate through other means.
I think they would probably just consider human beings to be the rabbit's peers because he's killing human beings.
And he's also providing kind of a service for human beings.
Right.
But he's also employed by them.
I think anyone who knows this rabbit's history would automatically say insanity plea 100%.
100% insanity. He would still get time.
Yeah.
He would still get a lot of time. He'd probably be put away for a while, but he'd still be on the insanity plea.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I like the whole now who's silly thing, but I don't know if I should have added the word bubble. I dig it.
It's like our first word bubble. We've never had a word bubble, which is kind of fun.
I'm in a word bubble sort of mood, so.
Yeah, well, Pat's been doing these really cool comics. He actually showed me some of them before we.
The sketches, the
sketches.
Very first sketches.
They're really good though. He's downplaying them. They're very good.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Gave me a good laugh.
Yeah, I've got. It's one article. I can't really announce what it is because I'm not allowed to, though it hasn't been explicitly said. But it's seven illustrations, which.
Oh, so now the screen changed, so it's
there
me.
You go. I got it back.
Nice.
Yeah. So 7 illustrations, and I've got 7 first sketches.
The seventh son of the seventh son.
So who did you pick, you son of a bitch?
I picked Lucky.
Oh, well,
yeah, that's Lucky Charms. Yeah, well, he's kind of always unlucky because he's got a similar situation to the Trix Rabbit.
Well, he's always. It's sort of a counter position. He has the Lucky Charms, but people are always trying to take them.
Exactly, but no, I think it's good that we kind of just we didn't even know we really picked these guys at the same time. But it's kind of cool because they are opposites, but they're both pushed to the brink, and I'll tell you why he's pushed to the brink.
Okay.
So like Lucky, he's always running away, and they're like, he's like, oh, you can't catch me, you can't catch me. Now, he's just playing it cool when he says that. He actually is afraid they're going to catch him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, like, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he's running from them 24/7. He is a magical being.
This
means he's got abilities.
Yeah, I mean, he's a leprechaun,
He's a leprechaun, which means he has magic, but we don't know the extent of his abilities.
He should be able to dash and,
Yeah, well, he's got, he's magical and Irish.
He should be a pretty slippery son of a bitch.
And, he's always like, can't catch me in my Lucky Charms.
Can't catch me in my Lucky Charms.
So, he's out there doing that. And what ended up happening is, one day he said, maybe they are going to catch me. They come pretty close sometimes in the commercials. Mm-hmm. So, he started to murder them.
Oh, I mean,
yeah, he was sick of them. He was just sick of running.
It's always a good solution.
Yeah, he was never eating them, really. He was kind of always running from them and never enjoying his Lucky Charms.
He never had time to chill and have his Lucky Charms.
At one point, he said, why do I keep running?
Yeah,
what
am I running from? Give these fuckers the things or kill them.
Exactly, because you know what? I've defeated the purpose of even running. Right. So I'm going to turn around and kill them.
Exactly. So. Though, I mean, if the name is any indication of what they actually do for him, if it's Lucky Charms, if it's something that actually provides him luck, then maybe his intention is to save them from being eaten.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he doesn't want to eat them. Maybe he wants to carry them with him so that he can remain his little leprechaun lucky self.
That could definitely be a possibility. I mean, also Lucky sort of. I don't know. I feel like he wouldn't. It wouldn't be past him to do what he just did. You know, it wouldn't be past him.
I mean, he's a fucking leprechaun.
He's a
Leprechauns
leprechaun.
are known. I mean,
They're
there
tricksters.
are movies,
They're the trickster gods, but they generally
Leprechaun's a horror movie.
Well, that's a different interpretation of a leprechaun.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's not like it's like a leap to say a leprechaun would kill someone. It's something that is an interpretation.
It's already a popular interpretation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So this guy right here, he gets to enjoy his marshmallows and his little cereal treats now.
And for the first time, and do you know
for
what
the
happens?
first time ever in eternity.
You know what happens? He tastes them. He's like, oh, these are shit.
Oh, this is awful. He's just pouring Guinness in it. He's just pouring Guinness and using it with water.
He's like, what have I been doing with my life?
He is a magical being, but he's always drunk as a skunk.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. The
Listen,
guy is.
I'm part Irish, and it's not a significant part, but my name's Patrick, and I've got red hair, so.
Yeah, well, that means you're enough Irish, you know. I'm
Auburn hair. You know that
you're
red
right.
hair is more of a Scottish thing than an Irish thing?
Yeah, I think it is.
Irish people have like black hair. Dark
black
brown,
Irish.
Dark brown.
That's dark Irish. That's different.
Dark
That's
Irish?
because they call black Irish because they were mixed with Spanish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesante.
Yeah, that's where all my black hair comes from.
You're black Irish?
No, I'm black Spanish.
So
No,
wait,
Spanish.
if the Irish people are called black Irish, right? Because I've heard that term before in movies, like with Morgan Freeman saying he's black Irish or something like that.
It's a joke.
That's a joke. Okay.
Yeah, well, the Moors. Well, this is actually about Spain. But the Moors, which were North African Muslims, they invaded Spain, and there was not a similar occupation, but there was a lot of trade going on in Europe. And if you had people that were mixing, and you get that darker hair gene in the gene pool, then that's going to be the dominant gene. So people in Ireland would start to have darker hair.
I really I hate learning stuff.
You fucking hate when I talk. That's what it is.
No, actually, I love learning stuff.
I hate learning.
I don't like to be a propagator of knowledge on this show. I think if we teach people shit, it should be stuff that they can't use at all.
I agree with you on that. You know what? I did a bad thing right there. I am sorry, guys.
It would waste their time completely and give them something that they have to actually backtrack and unlearn. They go to their mom and they say,
"Hey, mom," and the people that are watching the show are all hanging out with their moms. They're like,
Yeah.
"Mom," and then their mom says, "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" And he goes, "Listen, what I learned on DrawKings today."
Yeah,
and Pat's gonna get really angry at me now.
I don't want you watching that no more. I had a similar situation when I was younger.
Really?
So I remember it manifesting on a bus on the way to a camp, but it was a conversation with my.
Camp?
It was just a regular camp.
Okay.
That year I didn't go to a death camp. Yeah. So the first time I ever learned the word clitoris. Okay. I wasn't told that it was clitoris.
And this is okay to be on the show?
I don't know, but we're going to find out. So I was told by my, we'll call him my cother, or lather, so, something that rhymes with father but isn't. Mother. Yeah, but that combines.
Mother and father.
Yeah, one of them two sons of bitches told me that it was called a flitterus with an F.
That's pretty evil.
Yeah, and they denied it too. When I went home after that horrible camp bus ride, when my dad, he's infallible. At that point when I was a kid. Yeah, he's a superhero and he can't be wrong. And I did not mishear it. It was repeated several times, and then I went into the bus. And I defended it. I was like, they were all laughing at me. And they were all like, "It's a clitoris, you idiot." And I was like, "No, it's not. It's a flitterus."
Was that your most embarrassing? Was that the most embarrassing moment of your 21st year?
No way. Shut up. No. I've had way more embarrassing moments after 21, and way more embarrassing moments after that. But that's
pretty funny, though.
My life is just jam-packed with horribly embarrassing situations. You know what?
You're not an embarrassment, Pat.
So at camp, right? Another camp, Camp Lehican. It's a sleeping camp.
It's not a death camp.
Yeah, so we're all at the age where we're starting to grow pubes and all sorts of stuff like that. And so when I get there, all these kids, they're like playing this game where they're showing each other their pubes, right?
Why the fuck people do that?
Right.
I never got into that.
Well,
it's like the same kids that draw dicks all over books.
Right.
I don't get it. I was
excited by the fact that I had them and that there were several other kids that didn't, so I could be a part of this, this tribe of adult youngins who've got.
Yeah, you guys have like your badge of honor. Yeah.
Right. But strangely, and I didn't realize this until recently. So the camp year went by, and it became like a pretty regular occurrence. And I didn't see anything wrong with it because I was young as hell. And when years later, I realized that these people that all wanted to play this like show your pubes game or whatever, they. All right, so I told you I have red hair, right?
Yeah.
Right, so I mean, it stands to reason that my pubes are of a similar disposition.
I'll take your word for it.
So, at least they were back then, because my hair went from like orange to like auburn and darker.
Oh no, you caught the Ronald McDonald disease.
Right. So, but at camp, it occurs to me later on that the only reason all these kids were so interested was because they had never seen someone with orange pubes before.
So you were the first fire crotch they've ever seen.
Right. And I didn't realize that their interest in me pulling down my pants was much more than their interest in anyone else in this room doing it.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it was an interesting thing. It was an interesting thing. It was like, I get back and I think, oh yeah, man, I'm a part of this cool clique, and it turns out that the entire fucking time
it was just because of the hair.
They were just making
because
fun
of the hair. But you know that redheads are going to be like, this is now going to fight your lewdness with education.
We're going to be extinct.
Yeah, you guys are going to be extinct soon.
I use that as a tool with girls sometimes.
Oh, that's good. So
I mean, so it's not like a legit pickup line that I'm like.
I think you should use it more.
I say it as a joke, and sometimes they reciprocate it. So.
That's funny. Are they also redheads?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the whole point. Or blonde. Like you can say, hey, we're a dying race, and the only way for us to sustain ourselves is to, procreate.
Oh,
the problem that is that most people who have red hair fucking hate redheads.
Really?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Is that just like a well-known?
It's like
it's like a hate pact that you guys have.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It's like elves and dwarves.
Right.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Mean, it's not that. It's that you go through life and like people. Red hair is always like a stigma. It's always like.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would be I would feel out of place if I was like the only magical character in my class.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing. Like back in the day when it wasn't just a bunch of cliques in school and blah blah blah. It's like red hair is like this unique, cool sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right? And these days my hair is auburn, so it's like brownish red.
Yeah, you're still a ginger snap.
Yeah, it seems pretty.
See, I wouldn't hang out with you if you were like a cheese doodle head, because I wouldn't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do with you. I'd be like...
But see, that's an agreed upon thing, is that those people are awkward looking. That's the
No, not all of them. It's just if you personally had cheese doodle hair, like an orange fro, I don't know what I would do with you.
And I used to have like, because my hair does fro, so yeah. But that's the thing. Like you meet other redheads, and the idea behind the pickup line is that they want their species to live on, and the fact is they don't. They would be just as happy if redheads
just went down to the bottom of the sea,
but they never had to deal with it again. So you're drawing bones in your dude.
Yeah, definitely, and also he's well, I mean, this guy's like killed some people already. Like I like his tally marks on his head. It's like very nom,
Yeah.
He's gone out. He's counting how many people have chased him and died. That's one of the last people that followed him.
So is he using that skull to bash people, or is it just like a trophy?
It's like a trophy. He's like Predator. He basically is like the serial version of Predator.
Cool.
Yeah, so he's got like the tally marks. He's become like a hunter.
Are those wings?
No, that's his like really doofy looking scarf. Yeah. Cool. I was gonna draw like a normal scarf, but then I actually saw a picture of it, and the scarf looked really weird. It looked like an amoeba. But yeah.
But when there's actual color in it,
people would know what it is.
Yeah, people know what it is.
Yeah, so guys, I probably should have just drawn like a normal scarf.
No, it looks cool.
Know what
I actually dig it with the thought that it's a wing, or that it's something weird like that. Like he's a little butcher angel.
He's kind of like a Boba Fett. He's got that cool like good, bad, and the ugly sort of thing over his shoulder. Woo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now we're going into some shading right here.
Right. I forgot. We had this like freeze happen where we couldn't click anything, and it made life pretty difficult for a second.
Yeah, some technical difficulties, guys, but you know, we trudged through it. We got through it.
Mm-hmm.
We came out on top.
Yeah.
So did this guy. So.
Yeah, I mean these guys are killers.
Serial killers.
Electrocuted. They rarely come out on bottom.
No, they don't. So like this guy, like I wouldn't even consider him. He almost looks at it like the most dangerous game. You know that story?
Like hunting humans.
Yeah, exactly. Like to him, he's like, why am I being hunted? I'm going to become the hunter.
So what would you do, right? If you were, a part of an aristocratic sort of unit of people, and they all go to this island.
I love where this is going.
And yeah, and then it comes to light that this guy who owns the island and who is supposed to be your peer, right, is handing out sort of freaking guns to now run around the island, and you've each got like a beacon so you can tell who's who, right? But you're hunting human beings, right? So what would you do? Would you just go along with it?
A lot of situations could be done here.
Yeah, because I mean, if you decide, you know what, this is wrong, you could just as easily become one of the hunted
Well, see,
people.
this is the thing. I'm somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't go out and hunt the other person, even if they're quote unquote a bad guy.
But you would pretend like you would. So
but I'm not stupid at the same time. So what I would do is I would assess who I could kill in the group or subdue them.
True.
To then one by one hunt them all down. Not necessarily kill them.
Well, you could just figure out in the group how many of these people have been here before and done this before, so are here by choice. And
yeah, they're my friends. If they're my friends, then it's going to be like a whole other ballgame.
Well, I'm saying, if all you have to do is take out the leader, and then everyone else will pretty much just be like, okay, I'm cool with not killing.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, let's order a pizza.
Right. Then you just figure out who the fuck that guy is, and you kill him.
Yeah, we'll take him out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's any number of situations. I mean, like they played that scenario so many times in TV shows based on that actual short story, Much Dangerous Game.
Why do you think, on a separate topic? Why do you think it is that the people that win the lottery are people that freaking always want to give their winnings? And that's the final, by the way.
Yeah, guys, that's our final side-by-side image of the two serial killers.
People who always want to give their winnings to help the poor or something.
Yeah.
They're like farmers or something like that, and they always want to give it up, and it always seems like that's the case. Never someone who's like, I'm gonna fucking use it to travel and change the world and all that.
Yeah, well, they are changing the world by giving the money back. But I don't know. If I ever won like an obscene amount of money, I would probably take half of it and use that for, even if it was investing in charities or businesses that would help people, and then the other half would be for people I know and friends and me.
But I would go out and actually help people. I wouldn't just give it to some nameless charity. I would
I would actually take the time that I don't have to work to go out and help people. Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching DrawKings. I'm Pat.
And I'm Evan.
And see you next week.